Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. There's a lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you. I know that life outside is so hard. There's a lot of things that can tear you apart. I know the roads sometimes feel lonely, but remember you're not the one and only. There's always someone there to help you, a helping hand to pull you through. There's only one thing you should do: take my hand and join the Love and Life crew. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then let love and life guide you.
Koinant! Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Well, it's day 4 of my hunger strike, and I'm starting to lose some of the old fart features in my face, like the bulldog look. You might have noticed that's getting a bit smaller, which is great. I kind of like it. Now, let's get on to the subject at hand tonight. Very, very topical. The issue of food parcel distribution is becoming an increasingly hot topic in South Africa, with the ANC government demanding that non-for-profit charities and individuals drop their parcels at a government-run distribution point and do not deliver them to the community they help. If you abide by the ANC's rulings, the food parcels never get taken to the white squatter camps, because they're either taken to black townships or stolen. If you don't believe me, let me play you a couple of videos which will give you some more background. First of all, let's have a look at what World Farmers Organization has to say about this issue.
It says it'll not donate through government. It says it'll decide who should get the food based on need, not race. WFO President Dr. Theo de Jager joins us on Skype from Zanin. A very good morning to you. Why are you doing this without the government?
Good morning. Well, once you've gone into those communities and you've seen those families and the agony of children who have been crying for food because for 2 days there'd be nothing in that house, you can understand that it doesn't make any sense to apply for a license or a permit to take some surplus food parcels or fruit or veggies there. It simply does not make sense to put all the red tape in between where the food is and where the families need it. And so many farmers' organizations have partnered up with churches, welfare organizations, and other NGOs to ensure that we get some food into those communities and into those families. That the farmers simply said, there is no way we are going to allow the centralization of food aid. We will give the food to where it is needed desperately and where it is needed now, as close as possible from where the surpluses are.
You said that you'll do that even if you have to smuggle it. I mean, you do know that you are breaking the law here. I mean, there's a reason that we have these rules in place, and the government is against this. You could be arrested.
There's no such a law. This is one of those regulations which simply do not make sense, like the banning of e-commerce or the banning of the sale of cooked food. And government cannot reach all over the place where people are desperately hungry, especially here around our farms, where we see in communal areas, in these villages and on farms where people really sit with absolutely nothing. So yes, that's why I said, even if we need to smuggle it, we must get food into those families now. I'm pretty sure that those who made these rules, and it's not even a regulation yet, it was just politicians who said, we need you to bring these foods to our central depots and we will distribute it from there. I'm pretty sure that not one of them has been into one of these families where we've experienced the agony of simply not having something to eat.
Theo, I mean, it's a lovely thing that you're doing. Nobody condemns anyone who wants to give food to the needy, but, you know, regulations are out there which abide by, which are around the lockdown, which means that you cannot do this. I mean, what sort of conversation have you had with government departments so that, if anything, you work together?
Well, no, we've not been working together. There was no outreach to farmers or any of the welfare organizations who've been distributing these food parcels. We have communicated to government to say, we see what is happening on grassroots level. We can see on local level how trucks of food parcels get to councillors who do not take it to where it is needed most, who dish it out to their own families and friends and their own supporters. And it has been all over the media, and thank God that we still have a free media who can report on these things. And we have not seen any consequences of that. There was no action against these corrupt officials at all. And then they expect us to take our food parcels into the same depots? It can simply not happen. And then anyway, many of these communities live around our farms, live close to us, have worked on our farms, or who frequently come here to buy some fruit or some meat. No, I'm sorry. It is not a regulation as yet, and we need a proper discussion in society about this before some local or provincial politicians can simply decide everything must be centralized.
Farmers' organization.
All right. I think you get the message about what's going on there. Now, quite clearly, many of the food parcels that are supposed to be delivered to starving people by the ANC are simply stolen. Let's look at this video, which speaks for itself.
Food parcels are being delivered.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
There's a truck. There's EPWP people. These people are out of order. They're taking food that is meant for the people, for themselves and their comrades. I'm here live at Extension 9 in Papaton, Ward 44. There's a truck of loading food parcels that is meant for the poor. And it is not his people. It's the people from EPWP. And it is clear These are food parcels meant for the poor. Gavusi Mkajwa, Deputy Speaker of the province. We are reporting live. Captured. Number plates and everything. Here's evidence. I hope Mhlonishwa Sedibe will deal with this one decisively. Captured live. Bangolile, Bangolile.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm just gonna. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say hi, Winston Smile. Lovely to see you here, buddy. Winston is the guy who wrote my theme song on the Loving Life channel. Fantastic guy, and we have him on from time to time to entertain us, and we have a great evening. Okay, before getting to Rene, we're selling this magnificent painting, which is of a protea tonight. And the proceeds are going to Farmers Aid South Africa and Go Purple Foundation, both charity groups delivering food parcels to white squatter camps who are intended victims of this racist ANC ruling. Okay, so there's the painting. I'll just give you some of the information about it. It's got a starting price of 1,000 Rand, which is ridiculous. The title is King Protea. The artist is Lynn Ward Art, and this is a shout out to Marlena, who's actually basically donated this piece of art. She's a fantastic lady. Thanks, Marlena. People should just type in Lynn Ward Art in Facebook and they will find her. Now the size of this painting is 40 centimeters by 60 centimeters. It's oils on canvas. Now, if you want to place a bid on this painting, if you're someone we know here, all you have to do is just put in painting and then the value that you're bidding for it. Remember, it's got to be over 1,000 Rand. If you're someone we don't know, what we'll ask you to do is to send me an email so that we can just confirm the ID, because we've had in the past people who've put a price up and it's been a scam. They've just disappeared, and we all have egg on our face. It's not very nice. Okay, and Marlena said, please also mention that Lynn Ward has already donated another beautiful painting to be auctioned off in the next 2 weeks, also to raise money for food parcels for the hungry citizens. So there you go. What I'll do is I'll just put Lynn Ward's Facebook page on the side chat here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Right, now let me get Rene on so that we can start the show. Hi Rene.
Hi Scott.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good.
You're looking absolutely fabulous. I love the roof. Is that a thatch roof house you're in?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I love thatch. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, just to start off, Rene, so that people get to know you as our guest, tell me a bit about yourself and how you got involved with Solidarity Helping Hand.
Okay, I'm Rene Roux. I am the Deputy Chief Executive at Solidariteit Helpende. And I've been working for Helpende for the past 4 years now. Before I started my journey at Helpende and truly found my calling at Helpende, I worked for AfriForum and also for Marula Media, whom is also part of the Solidariteit movement. I grew up in a small town in Secunda in Mpumalanga region, and I finished my studies at the University of the Northwest in Potchefstroom. I've always been grateful to work at Helpende, but Scott, in times like these, I am truly grateful, and I truly admire the work that each of the social workers and the volunteers and my colleagues are doing within this sustainable structures of Helpende.
Fantastic. Now, could I ask you if you can move the light a bit further away from you, because your face is a bit overexposed? Is that possible or not? If it isn't, don't worry. Oh, it's the one above you. Okay, that's fine.
It's a bit back. Maybe that would be a bit better.
Yeah. If you sit back a bit, that's better. Yeah. Don't go too far back. We don't want you falling over. Now, who is Solidarity Helping Hand, and what do you do?
Scott, Solidariteit Helpende is a welfare organization, and we are based on the principles of the Help Mekaar, the Help Each Other movement of 1949 that Dirk Herman also mentioned to you in one of your earlier interviews. And
right.
Our focus is to find an answer to the Afrikaner poverty crisis through a variety of projects. We do this by alleviating, preventing, and breaking our people's poverty through, like I said, through various projects. But Helpende has almost 40,000 supporters who make a monthly contribution via debit order. We do not receive any assistance from the government and depend on the contributions from ordinary people to fund the projects that we're running. We also have 160 branches in South Africa.
Wow.
In every region, yes, in every region we have a regional manager. We now have 23 social workers nationwide, and we're also very proud to say that we have 60 charity stores that we call Ons Winkels, where people can donate all household items and clothes that they do not use anymore, so that Helpende can give them to the poor. And Helpende is truly a trustworthy and a transparent in everything that we do. And it's truly a blessing to know that we can make a difference every single day. That is now with the support and the donations from our supporters and our volunteers.
Right. Mm-hmm. And there's something that I've got here which I need to share with the viewers that will explain what SABC are doing to deceive people when it comes to food parcels. I think you're familiar with the situation, aren't you? With the advertising. Mm-hmm. Let me just put that on the screen and then we'll discuss it. Okay, now what we're looking at here is an SABC advertisement promoting Helping Hand to the COVID-19 Solidarity Fund, headed That's Solidarity. Now, if you look at that, you immediately think that it's Solidarity Helping Hand, don't you? I mean, it clearly insinuates that that's what they're all about. Now, if we have a look at another example of this is another SABC pledge. Reach out to give a helping hand to the COVID-19 Solidarity Fund. Again, if you didn't know better, you would think that this is the organization that Rene is working for. Now, Rene, can you speak to this issue? Do you have any involvement at all with the SABC?
No, we don't. Okay, the difference between the government's fund and the Solidariteit Bewegingskrisisfonds, so this is what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Solidariteit Bewegingskrisisfonds, I'm referring to this in Afrikaans now, just to make sure that the confusion is just being clarified here. So the Solidariteit Bewegingskrisisfonds has already raised more than 9 million rand within our structure. With this fund, we can help thousands of people with food. The government has also started a fund, the Solidarity Fund, and in Afrikaans, they call it the Solidariteit Fonds. And there should not be any confusion between the two funds, but unfortunately, there is. The government's fund has its own objectives, its own processes, and also its own criteria. Solidariteit Bewegingskrisisfonds is from the community to the community, and thanks to people who open their hearts, we can make a huge difference in the households of a lot of needy people. We launched this fund to harness the power of the community, to help people in social distress, to support businesses, and to help children so they can continue with their school during this uncertain times. The social distress caused by the coronavirus is, it's already huge, and communities must stand together to cope and deal with this crisis. Our organization is inundated with requests, and we already are helping thousands of preschoolers, families, and the elderly to receive food and other help daily. I would like to quote, I just want to get it here from my laptop. I would like to quote Fleabase. Let's drag it on here. He is the CEO of the Solidariteit Beweging, the Solidarity Movement.
Right.
And I would like to tell you what he stated on social media regarding this. So I'm quickly going to read this for you. I am now deeply saddened by the confusion that the government has caused with which causes us to be attacked daily by people who misunderstood. The facts are as follows. The government started a solidarity fund without talking to us about it at all. Contributions are now also raised on public radio and in Afrikaans by asking for a helping hand, by donating money to the Solidarity Fund. The name Solidariteit Helpende is also being used. This creates further confusion. In addition, at least one shop group requested R5 contributions from each customer, many of whom accepted it for our fund. In addition, there are suspicions that the Solidarity Fund is not equal in terms of race when it comes to providing assistance. The worst is this confusion leads to people thinking that Solidariteit, we are now sitting with all these billions, and that many are getting angry for us for not wanting to help their business, and it is simply not so. We get nothing from the government fund. The fact are that Solidariteit has been around for 20 years, just like the Solidariteit Helpende. Solidariteit makes no contributions to the government's Solidarity Fund because they have excluded us from the beginning and continue to create confusion. By that, I, meaning Fleabase, do not mean that they are malicious at all for the purpose of creating confusion. So that was our, the head of our whole movement's statement or social media post regarding this. Yeah, it's been creating a lot of confusion, Scott, and fortunately we can explain this to our donators and our supporters, but yeah, it's making it difficult.
I understand that. Well, let's clear that up tonight. I mean, what you're saying in effect is that the South African Broadcasting Corporation, which is really a government-run and owned state-owned enterprise, is being it's deceiving people. It's using your names, Solidarity and Helping Hand, and putting them in a different way, but it looks on face value, and I'll just put this up again, it looks at face value to be from or associated with your organization, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with your organization. Now,
No, that's the government's fund. They have their own, like I said, their own processes and criteria.
Right. Now, I'm going to actually read out something I saw on Facebook yesterday, which explains how this confusion is happening. And it's from Morne Swart from Shut South Africa Down. and he says Solidarity Relief Fund open discussion. And below this article there's a little graphic that says Solidarity Relief Fund, no whites allowed. Now, in the body of this article, he says, shut SA down, believe in the South African Constitution and rights to equality. We are all South African, and race, gender, religious and political affiliation should not come into play regarding government assistance. Why do government then assist people based on race? Is this fair? And then he goes on to talk about triple B, double E, etc., etc. But the point is that he has been confused by the SABC, that it looks like it's Solidarity Helping Hand who are now only delivering food parcels to black communities, which is completely wrong.
Yes, no, yeah, it has. It's been creating a lot of confusion, and unfortunately, there's not a lot that we can do about this. But we are transparent in what we do. We put our stuff on social media.
Yeah.
We give out releases. We talk to the media about. There's a lot of media stations and radio stations that's very good to us with our media statements. So they help us a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, this has been an issue. But we're handling it. But it's not ideal at the moment,
right,
for us.
Right. Now, just while we're talking about food parcels, we're actually auctioning a painting tonight of a protea, and the proceeds are going to two charities that Loving Life supports, namely Farmers Aid and Go Purple, and they both deliver food parcels around South Africa and basically to the white community. I'm just going to bring that painting up for a second. Okay, the current bid. What is the current bid on this painting? I think it's okay. I see the current bid is 2,000 rand for the painting of the protea. Come on, guys, we can bring this up to 20,000 rand. Wow, Lally says 5,000. Now we're getting serious. That's much better, guys. Come on, let's get this thing going. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll keep on flicking this painting up during the show. I want to see 10,000 by the next time I flick it up. Okay. Let's get back to the discussion. Rene, your opinion. Solidarity Helping Hand plans legal action over power control over food distribution. Now, I before I actually got you on, I played a short video clip where the governor of one of the provinces was having a whole truckload of food parcels which should have been going to the poor being delivered to his house, and they were unpacking them and putting them into his house, and someone actually caught that on video, and that's actually at the very start of this live stream. If you want to watch it later, you'll see it. And this is why charities who deliver to their specific communities should not have someone else say, no, you got to deliver it to our central depot and then we'll deliver it to who we want. That completely destroys the whole concept of being a charity. Now, getting back to your opinion, Solidarity Helping Hand plans legal action over power control over food distribution. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Scott, Solidariteit Helpende, we announced on the 3rd of May that we instructed our legal team to prepare for a lawsuit against government should they continue to implement regulations prescribing that the distribution of food to the poor be centralized under government control. It would be a very sad day for the country, and people in distress will suffer if distribution of food is centralized and controlled as a result of so-called government regulations. Helpende is already instructed the legal team to start preparing for a lawsuit should government continue with its action in this regard. Helpende do realize that the public is anxious about food distribution being managed by provincial governments and as well as some regional governments. And like I said, we will oppose this. Uncertainty about this matter is currently creating a panic among the needy and also among our donors. Solidariteit Helpende opposes central control. That is to say, the controlling power over the distribution of food. The central distribution of food will be an abuse of power of the, at the expense of the poor in this distress. Yeah, Helpende Hande had discussions with our various authorities in the meantime to get clarity on the planned regulations. These include a press release with a press statement by Panyasa Lesufi, the acting MEC of Social Development in Gauteng, a letter from Imalagleni in Witbank, the local municipality there, and the letter requiring registration to distribute food for those in need in the Free State region. At present, incredible confusion is being created, like I said, but the uncertainty does not serve the purpose of caring for people. The legal advice that Solidariteit Helpende Hande has already obtained indicates unlawful in this statements and requirements. The urgent action taken by Helpende Hande follows a great deal of uncertainty that has risen from the above letters that I just mentioned now during the past week that we had to go through. The Solidariteit Vakbond, the Solidariteit Trade Union, as well as the civil rights organization AfriForum, have indicated already that they would support legal action and have already pledged 100,000 for possible court action, in this regard. And the business Sakeliga has also awarded a further 200,000 donation to Helpende Hande. These funds are embarked for distress relief and then, if necessary, legal action to prevent the state's capturing or the nationalization of goodwill. Yeah, the Solidariteit movement supports Helpende Hande's campaign against the centralization of the food distribution because they are siding with those that are hungry in the midst of this crisis. I also want to just quickly read you a quote.
Right.
From Kali Kriel. He is the head of AfriForum. I jumped to AfriForum and Solidariteit and SAI, and because we are working so closely together in all of this. Kali Kriel said, he's the head of AfriForum, and he said that AfriForum completely supports Helpende Hande's campaign, and it is vital to fight against controlling politicians' attempts to, even during a deadly crisis, sacrifice the effective distribution of food to satisfy their own craving for power and perspectiveness. So Helpende Hande is aware of the regulations that need to be implemented and applied when it comes to food distribution, but it is something completely different when the abuse of power and control take over the control of non-government organizations to feed those who need. The idea of centralized food distribution and control will seriously harm the poorest of the poor in our country. The government is now in a position where, due to the lockdown, they should move closer to organizations who support the poor and look after the poor rather than create distance. We still urge the government not to alienate us with the care for those who need. Helpende Hande and and everyone who work with me, our task and our calling and our mission come from the poor and the needy, and they are the voices that we listen to. We intercede for them, not for ourselves, not for the government, and even less for the abuse of power. We, Helpende Hande, we listen to those who are hungry.
Right. Now, I have to tell you that my view as someone who lives in Australia, and I spend a lot of time going through a lot of material because I get lots of emails from my subscribers, believe me, hundreds of emails every day. I have a very, very good understanding of what's happening in South Africa. And I put a video up just this evening where you had, it was a few videos or clips inside the video. And the first video clip is of this white fellow who's running alongside the beach, and the police try and nab him for breaking the law. And then I follow that up with 3 videos of Polokwane, Pinetown, and where was the other place? It was Mokopane. And there are thousands of Africans milling around. This is these were taken earlier today. Not a police person in sight. You look at that, and you look at this fellow who's just running along the beach. There's no one near him. He's not going to spread COVID-19 to anyone, and the police are going after him as a soft target. It's absolutely disgusting. And what I see here with this centralizing food distribution is just another example of how they're trying to they're just trying to screw the minority groups, and I'm obviously including the white squatter camps in that. I think that's pretty blatant. Now let's move on to. By the way, we've now got a bid for 20,000 rand for the painting. Isn't that fantastic? I'm just going to put it up on the screen again. There's the Protea painting, guys. 20,000 rand. So 10,000 rand each at this stage to Patrick's charity and Annery of Go Purple's charity. That is just fantastic. That'll provide a lot of food parcels. Okay.
That's beautiful. Who's the artist, Scott?
Oh, hang on, let me just tell you. I've got it here somewhere. Oh my gosh, where is it? Lynn, her name's Lynn somebody.
Okay,
I think it's this one.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, here we are. Her name is Lynn Ward, and the painting is called King Protea.
King Protea.
Yeah, let me just put it up again. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, I'm a big art lover, so that's why I'd like to know a name. And
well, she's got a Facebook page. I've actually put a Facebook page in the side chat, so you can look at that later.
Thank you.
Let me just get this back again. Okay, here we go. So, what did Helping Hand do to make sure that people get fed during this epidemic? Like, what are the new products, food parcels, etc.?
Okay, so Helpende Hand has to feed 8,000 toddlers with the lunchbox project at the nursery schools all over the nation, because the nursery schools were closed and still remain closed during the national lockdown. We have to adjust our process and our structures to still make sure that these children get fed. So I just received a message now saying that no one can see me. So I'm just trying to move a bit back here. I'm sorry. Okay, so Helpende Hand must not only feed the toddlers anymore, but also now the toddler's entire family. Our application for assistance have more than doubled since the lockdown started, and we also now have to provide food to people who previously did not need our help. And within this month, like I explained to you, but because of this lockdown, they have now lost their income, and now they're depending on Helpende Hand's feeding schemes. We need all the help we can get to make sure that these people in South Africa get the food they need to survive this pandemic. We cannot put an exact number on how many families we will still need to feed in the next few weeks or the next few months to come. And sure, this is an emotional thing, Scott.
Yeah, it's awful.
Really an emotional thing. Like I told you earlier in our chats that, we are at Helpende Hand, we are the softies, we are the people crying about everything, because we see this all the time. So we are very scared of this wave that will come over our nation, and we need to stand strong in regarding this stuff, because when this comes, we need to have our stuff with the government sorted out so that we can help our people. That is what we need to do. Yeah. But nonetheless, I want to talk to you. About our projects now. But first, I just want to say that the number increased, it doubled overnight, and if you're talking about a family, you're talking about maximum 4 members in a family. And if you're talking about an institution like an old age home or a children home, you're talking about between 50 to 100 people, children in that home. It's a lot of people to feed, and it will last long after the lockdown. That's why every donation makes a huge difference and enables Helpende to ensure that our structures are being made stronger and that the food reaches our people across South Africa. Now, why I talked to you about the Lunchbox project is that was the project that we ran, the food scheme project that we ran, well, that we've been running for the past, I think it's almost the past 12 years now, and we realized that we need to feed 8,000 children, and for that to happen, we need to provide 1.5 million meals per year.
Wow.
And that was before the lockdown. Now everything is doubled. So during COVID-19, we added the following projects to our list to assist our children and our elderly, as well as the families struggling during this national lockdown. And these two projects is Houers Vol Hoop and the Joseph Siloes. Let me start with the Houers Vol Hoop project, the Containers Filled with Hope project. The Solidarity movement established its official crisis fund, dis die Solidariteit Bewegingskrisisfonds, on its Help Mekaar Day, the Help Each Other Day, to address the social needs that already have risen due to the COVID-19 crisis. And this fund is managed and audited by Solidariteit Helpende. That's why I said earlier that we are transparent and trustworthy, and it's a different fund from the government's. Right. Yes, the strategy for the Containers Filled with Hope is twofold. The public can donate food, or they can make a cash donation so that we can buy the food for the people in need. We then fill the containers ourselves, and we disinfect the packaging. Each container contains non-perishable goods to the value of 350, which we distribute to the families in need. And then the Joseph Siloes project is, I don't know if you know what a silo is. I don't know if it's the same thing in Afrikaans as in English, but it's like a place where you can store the food.
Oh yes, silo.
Yes, and then it's built there on so it's Joseph Silos.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so our intentions for the Joseph Siloes is therefore to provide for the difficult times we are currently expecting, and to provide for the difficult times that we know will come after the lockdown is over. We know that where the need is, we know where the need is. Helpende know where we need to go to feed our people. We have 23 social workers nationwide who monitor the situation on a daily basis and update our system where an emergency might occur unexpectedly. We always encourage a gee reg principle, a give rights principle to people. To do justice goes two ways. People must give in times of need, and those receiving agencies must also be trustworthy and undertake to proceed giving the donations to people that truly need it. Solidariteit Helpende is an established and trusted institution, like I mentioned before, that would not be able to do so without our supporters. But we currently have 70 fixed Joseph Siloes. That's 70 addresses nationwide where non-perishable goods can be donated, and precaution are being taken to clean it and prevent the virus from spreading on the goods as well. So we're following all of that PPE and sanitizing. Yeah.
Now, where can people get that information if they want to make a donation to one of those locations?
Yes, so one of those specific projects, they need to go to josephsiloes.co.za.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, it's J.
Yeah.
O.
Yeah.
S.
Yeah.
E. F.
Yeah.
S. I.
Yeah.
L. O.
Yeah.
S.
.co.za.
Yes.
Okay. And so if they go there,
And
that'll tell them
yeah,
where they can make donations for
right.
food, etc.
Yes, they can go there for the use of cities to donate food. But I also sent you earlier a e-card with our banking details.
Ah, that's actually below the video in the description. I've got all that information, so people can just
Okay.
just talking to the side chat and the people watching. If you look below this video later or now, you'll see the banking details for Solidarity Helping Hand. I'm getting a few questions coming through, and I will get into those shortly. But we just need to keep on going with our theme here. Okay, so is there anything else you want to say about new projects that you're involved in?
No, I think I said that at the moment. At the
Okay.
moment, the most important thing, except the use of cities and the Houersville Whip, is for people to donate to the www.crisisfonds.co.za, and that banking details that you gave there, or use the PayPal then, because that's where
Yeah.
our fund lies, and then it gets distributed to these projects. Yeah.
Right. Now, just talking about, you mentioned that the number of people you're helping out now has doubled, I think, overnight. How many white families are you helping around South Africa now? Just a ballpark figure.
Sure. Well, last week when I looked at the numbers and the infographic and the Excel sheets that we received, I used the same numbers that I told you now about 1,000, about 100 in an institution, and about 4 in a family.
Yeah.
And I came about in this COVID-19 period, for that week, I came about 35,000 people.
Wow.
So that's in institution and families. That's the ballpark that I calculated with my.
And that's basically doubled in the last week or so.
Yes, that doubled now. So I just received the latest.
Oh, that's better. With the light,
latest-
if you whatever you did to your screen, that made your face
just-
much clearer. Yeah. Just do what you did before with your screen.
Yeah, but then I can't see you anymore. I just.
Oh, that's better. No, keep it like you've just done it, because if you can, or just use that when you have to refer to it, because that's what's causing your face to be so bright or overexposed. But that's okay. Look, we can live with that. We can hear you perfectly, and that's the main thing. Right. Let's move on to another area. What is the difference between the government's fund and Solidarity Beweging's crisis fund?
Yes, that is the one. Sorry, Scott, that I just explained. That I explained previously.
The SABC.
Yes, with the SABC question, because that is, like I said, they have their own criteria, and we have our own criteria that we have been having for the past 20 years now. So we can't stop giving our people what they need. And the government have their own objectives and procedures and processes and criteria, and we have ours. And unfortunately, it's the spelling and the using of words are very close to each other, and that confuses people. But there's actually a huge difference. The difference is the criteria.
Okay, I've got a couple of questions related to that. Frick Brits asks, does Solidarity Helping Hands not have copyright on their names? In other words, how can the SABC use what's basically the words that identify your charity, and by implication suggests that they're the same thing if you read the ads that they've got out there?
Yes, no, we do have copyrights on our logos and our use of words. The use of the text, the words. But on Solidariteit, on Solidarity, I just spoke to the lawyers about 2 weeks ago. Also, other organizations are using the same wording, that we are a helping hand, or we are ons helpende hand.
Yeah.
And then, we spoke to our legal teams, and they are helping us to go after these people, because it's not right. But it's very difficult if it's the government, we can try the trademark thing, but at this moment we're just trying to make sure that at least the 500,000 members, which is the members that the whole Solidariteit movement have, that they are certain and sure that their money that they give to us are still going to the people that it went to before the COVID-19 epidemic.
Now, just again addressing the side chat, if you've got any questions, please feel free to post them, and the moderators will copy them and paste them later so I can present them to Rene. Now, Rene, there's another question about this confusion over the SABC and your Solidarity Fund, and you can understand why people are confused because of the wording that they use. And Angela Rowenhorst said, people need to know the difference between Solidarity Government Fund and the actual Solidarity Fund. Quite deceptive of the government to enforce checkers to do it. I'm not sure what she means by that, but I guess checkers are promoting the government Solidarity Fund, are they?
Yeah, Scott, that can be that five. Can you remember I told you about that R5 contribution from each customer?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the thing that's creating the further confusion, because in addition, at least one of the shop groups requested a R5 contribution from each customer, many of whom accepted it for our fund. So, yeah,
Did it come to your fund, or did it go to the SABC fund?
No, that's the government's fund. That's not the Solidariteit crisis bewegingscrisis fund.
So that R5 that checkers are collecting at the checkout doesn't go to you; it goes to the SABC fund.
Yes, it goes to the government's fund. It's not our fund.
That is so deceptive. That is absolutely extraordinary. I've had a lot of people raising this issue about the R5. Okay, well that clarifies that. So just talking to everybody listening to this video, if the checkout say, would you give R5 to the Solidarity charity, understand this is not Solidarity Helping Hands. This is the government charity fund where you never know where that money's going to go. It's completely separate. That is just so wrong. Okay, what has been your legal feedback on the action you're taking against the government about the distribution of food parcels, etc.?
Yes, Scott, like I said, Helpende has consulted its legal team already in connection with the alleged proposed regulations by the government to centralize the control of food distribution, and accordingly to the latest COVID-19 regulations in the country, distress relief activities are allowed, and there is nothing to prevent Helpende from distributing food, because our organization has the required the required distribution permits in place. And they advised us that if anyone should prevent Helpende from performing distress relief activities, such as, such a person would be contravening the law.
Right.
We like to reaffirm, and we'd like to emphasize that organizations should be allowed to perform distress relief activities without being hindered. Any other organization that is performing relief activities and has the required permits may contact Helpende's legal team if they are, if they are prevented from doing their work and doing their calling. On Sunday, Helpende warned that the legal action could follow should food distribution be centralized by government, and immediately instructed our legal team to start preparing for court action, in case the government should proceed with steps regarding this. But we have already received support, like I said, from various organizations, and like I said, from FIRN, the 100,000 and the 200,000 donation from Salke Liga. But I just received, before we, was it at 5 o'clock? We received new regulations again, with just from the Gauteng government, a new statement with just more red tape, like we talked about previously. And it's making things very difficult. With a lot of regulations that you must give the distribution list and the distribution plan to them 48 hours beforehand. A health inspector needs to go with every distribution. They're making it very difficult for us.
Right. Now, just
that's one we will talk about with we will talk to our lawyers about tomorrow now, because we only received it this afternoon.
Right. Just as a matter of interest, the artist who's selling the painting is actually watching us live as well. Hi Lynn, good to have you here on the live stream. Let me just show the painting that she painted. Now, the current bid for that painting is 20,000 Rand from Lali Dutoy. And she says, what is the bank details for bidding if I win to pay for the painting? What I'll do, Lali, is if you can please send me an email, if one of the moderators can just throw my email address into the side chat. I just need to confirm your ID just through the email. And what I'll do once I get your email is I will then give you the bank details for Farmers Aid and Go Purple, so that you can just pay them direct. And once they've both confirmed that they've got the money, then we will get the painting off to you. Now, that's of course if someone doesn't come up with a higher bid, because that is a magnificent painting, Lynn Ward. That is I love it. You can see the little hairs on the bracts of that protea. It's just stunning. Okay, let's get back to the discussion. Now, okay, after that long sales pitch, I'm hoping I see someone come up with 25,000 now. Now, there are a lot of comments here by people saying that R5 is actually taken off or added onto their bill without people even being asked. Can they ask for that R5 to be returned to them?
Sure, that's something they should ask the government.
But what right have they got to charge you R5?
No, they have no. I don't think they have no right to charge you R5 if you're not even, knowing about this. That's on your receipt. So, yeah, it's a difficult thing. I don't know if they will give their money back or how it would work. But
I guess the question to ask is,
I don't think they're allowed.
I guess the question to say to someone at the checkout is, say, look, do not add the R5 for the Solidarity Fund.
Yeah, if you at least, if you, for example, if you go to certain fast food places and they ask you to donate R2 or R1 or whatever it should be, they ask you. You need to have. You need to give permission.
Yeah.
And I think they must take it up with checkers.
Well, I think that's illegal. Anyway, let's continue. Does SHH accept that some measures of control is necessary for the distribution of food? So SSH, we're talking about Solidarity, Helping Hand, of course. If so, in what circumstances is it necessary to have control of food to the impoverished people?
Yeah, Scott, definitely. It's not that we don't accept this. We definitely do accept that some measurements is necessary. In these times, we understand that guidelines must be followed in order to stop the spread of the virus. But these guidelines are already in place on our side regarding masks and PPE, personal protective equipment, and we also adhere to and respect all the safety guidelines and precautions already in place. But we have to decide for ourselves where our food packages go to. There's no reason at all why the government should decide where MPO's donations go and force us to deliver to a certain place. Helpende has national permits in place, but now government seeks regional and municipal permits as well. And it seems that the regulations just differ from place to place.
Right. Now, one of the important areas that you work in is statistics, isn't it?
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
you-
we have our researchers on our team as well.
Yeah. Tell us about the stats.
Okay, so we have done research before the COVID-19. We've done. Let me talk about the stats of the fooding project, of the nutritional project. That's the lunchbox project that we have had before COVID-19. I think we'll have a lot of stats after this few weeks in lockdown as well to give
Right.
through to you in a later stage. But this was now done on the lunchbox projects before COVID-19, and yeah, this is actually horrible. So let's just breathe when we do this. Let's start with let me just draw it up here. Sorry.
I've got 1 at 85%, and then
Yeah,
2.
85. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
85%. That is the percentage of teachers that the children are. The percentage of teachers that stated that children are hungry when they come to school after a weekend at home. So that's the teacher that the child comes to and tell her that he or she is hungry. And then we've got
85%.
85% of teachers. Yeah, that's the adults that we spoke to. And then we have the 24% of children do not get any food at night.
Wow.
And that's the one that brings the tears to the eyes, Scott.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Then we've got the 35% of children who go to school hungry. We've got the 31% of children that themselves announced that they did not eat last night. That was when we asked the children, did you eat last night? Nee tannie, nee oom, ek het nie geëet nie. I did not eat last night. Mommy and daddy did not give any food last night because there weren't any food to give. That was 31% of these children. And then you must know these children are between the ages of 2 and 5. So for them to announce this, they know they didn't eat last night. But okay, then more than 40% of the schools cannot afford to offer more than one meal, and this may be a small meal, maybe in the morning or stuff like that. But this is the only food from the lunchbox project. It's the only food that the children get, and again we feed 8,000 children with this in this structure. So at the moment, this is the only food that they get at school. That is why we can't stop feeding them during the COVID-19 pandemic, because we need to still feed them, otherwise they're going to starve. But now we also need to feed their families. What we used to do is with the lunchbox project, is we used to give the food out at school, because sometimes when we give the food out at home, it's being sold for other stuff. So we feed the vulnerable, we feed the children, the elderly, and the disabled, and now we have to feed everyone. But nonetheless, children lose up to 8% of their body mass, of their body weight. Yeah, if they are not on the nutrition program of Helpende. So if we can see in December, when they go home and they come back, then they lose about, and then we measured this as well in our research. They lost about an average of 8% of their body weight, and that's horrible, because I have a 4-year-old, and if she loses 8% of her body weight, there will be almost nothing left of her. Yeah.
Oh, that's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Let's just have a look here. So, okay, so the ways that people can donate to your fund, obviously through your bank account. If you're in South Africa, that's the best way, and those bank details are below this video in the description.
Yes.
And I guess the other way is through PayPal, isn't it?
Yes, the
If
other
they're
way is
overseas,
through
they can do it through PayPal. All right.
Yes, and We've got the Swift code there and everything, yeah. And sorry, Scott. I would like to encourage the people to visit the that www.crisisfonds.co.za, because all of the information that they need is there. If they need to keep the elderly busy, there's so much information and reading material and video material and everything that they can use to stay strong and to get hope during this time as well.
Okay, now that's quite a long website address. Is there something they can put in Google to find that? Like if they type in Chris's font Solidarity or something like that, will that bring up the web page?
I think an easier one for them would be corona.org.
Ah, is that CA
Okay.
or yeah? I guess it would be CA.
It's a C.
Okay.
CA, yes, yeah.
Okay, let's just do that one because that other one was horribly long. Corona.org.
Yeah, corona.org, and if they go through there's a lot of information that they might find useful,
Right.
that a lot of South Africans did find useful during this
Right.
crisis. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I'm just going to some of the questions. Guys, if you want to put questions, now's the time to do it. Here we are. Okay. Okay, now, Tace Lawrence has asked, Rene, can you please define the poor?
Can I please define the poor?
Yeah, what is the poor? What do you rate as people who are poor? How do you define people who are poor?
Sure. Okay, well.
I'm sorry, that's a bit of a curveball.
It's a weird one. No, we have assessment forms that we use in Solidariteit Helping Hand. In Solidariteit Helpende Hand, we have assessment forms that if someone, it's easy to call someone and say, I need a food parcel. Then I can't sleep at night if that person didn't receive a food parcel for him and her or for their children and themselves. But we do need to have a structure. We do need to work according to assessment forms to see if these people are really, like was it Tien's comment said that they are really poor. What this means is that if they buy in this assessment forms, we need their banking statements. We need to see whether they've been buying alcohol or cigarettes, or and in what amount as well.
Right.
We have. Do you have DSTV? Because you don't have to have DSTV. You can buy food with that.
Yeah.
So there's a whole assessment form behind the process before we just give. But what we like to do is if the person calls now and he says he's hungry, then we go to his house, we give him a food parcel, and then we do an in-depth assessment as well, because we need to make sure that this is a sustainable solution for the person as well. We cannot just feed them one night and then the next and the next and the next they are hungry. So yeah, there's a whole process behind that, but the answer is we use our assessment forms to make sure that these people are really in need.
Right. Now, Raymond Fitzpatrick has asked, are Solidarity going onto white squatter camps? Please, those outside Pretoria look terrible.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. No, we do give food parcels in the squatter camps as well. Like I mentioned previously, Scott, we have a lot of people, a lot of schools, and a lot of structures that we need to feed. So we still need to feed those. So we're using those structures to distribute from those Joseph silos that I mentioned. So they are the place of distributions, or will be the place of distributions. And the white squatter camps is it's a whole different story. It's horrible. It is horrible. I do agree with that. And there's a lot of even the smaller ones that's been in and I'm not going to mention places now, but on the other side of Pretoria and on this side, if you go to they call it in Afrikaans now, I can't get the word, but the buitewyke, if you go to those places, it's just behind the mountain. We live here and we eat every day, and we have clean water to drink. And just a few kilometers outside of town, then you find these people sitting there with nothing.
Yeah.
And this white squatter camps, I just visited in, when was it? November. I went to KZN and I visited one there, and the people were just so happy just to see someone from Helpende. They were always happy to see us. We're always there, but I mean that they were happy to see us. They're always in a good mood, and it just seems like they have so much hope. Although we might think they're hopeless, they are not. But yes, we do need to look after these peoples in the outskirts as well.
Right. Now, just talking to the side chat again, guys, look, there's that beautiful Protea painting. Current bid, 20,000 Rand, I believe. And Lali has got the bid. Now, if you could just send me that, let me just check to see if she sent me an email. I need to get an email to confirm that bid. Okay, let me just have a look. Sorry, guys. Okay, I don't have an email from you yet. If you can just send an email to me, I'll just put my email address in the side chat for you. Here we go. Okay, if you can do that right away, please, so that we can just confirm that bid, and I can then send you the bank account details as well. I'll just have you look here. Yeah, Lali Dutoy. I'm just speaking to Lali. That's a fantastic donation, Lali. Well, it's not a donation. You're getting a great painting, believe me. All right. Now, let's get back to the questions here. Okay. I've got one here from Scale Model Vamp. And he says, I've been away for almost a year and am back and willing to help Rene with a new logo for free. Then if the government steals that, I'll lay a charge.
Sean, thank you. Where have you, I wonder where has he been, and then he's back in South Africa now. Yeah, okay, what we did is in last year, we already revamped our whole visual identity, and it's been accepted by the public quite good, because I don't know, I'm so overexposed, but I do have a Helpende Hande shirt on tonight, right. And because of the small hand that we have, and that's also patented, that we that is the one that we're going with. That is our icon, and thank you for the help and for giving that to us. But yeah, we have a very cool logo, and it's situated. It's already been received good by the public, and it's got a lot of meaning. But that's also a discussion for a different day, the whole meaning behind our logo.
Okay, fantastic. I'm just checking the side chat. Lali says, okay, she's going to send the email straight away. Thanks, Lali. That's great. Okay, now, we're talking about the white squatter camps out in the Pretoria area. Are you familiar with Dirk and Philadelphia Arc?
Yes.
He's doing fantastic work. I mean, the housing he's providing, the way he's getting people into little jobs, and it's a fabulous little community. I really admire that man. Okay, so, and the question here from Rene says, does Solidarity help remove children from unfit homes? I've spoken to welfare about a child that is growing up in a horrible environment, especially now.
Yeah, it's a very difficult task to remove remove a child from his or her home, but if necessary, that's the precaution, that's the way you need to do it, then it must be done. But like I said, our 23 social workers can answer this question for you immediately if you send a request to maybe I can give you the email address, Scott.
Yeah,
but
please do.
You can put it up there. It's dienst@helpende.
How do you spell that?
It's DIENS.
Yeah, at Helpende Hande. I've got that one. .co.za.
Yes, because that's dienst, so
Okay.
it's service in Afrikaans. And you know, if there's not someone who can help you to remove the child from that home, we will always help you to send you in the correct direction.
Right.
That is the legal advice that we give. Yes, we do not have the statutory power, but we will report it and we will help you through that process.
Okay, fantastic. Philip Brewers asks, my question is directed to you. Did you see other countries facing the same challenges as South Africa? Look, there's the same sort of stuff happening in a lot of countries like Venezuela and so on, but my heart is with South Africa. I grew up in South Africa, and this is the least I can do to try and give back to a wonderful childhood I had there. Okay, Lali has confirmed, so if no one's going to put a bid in for this painting in the next 5 minutes, it's Lali's. So I'm just giving you fair notice. It's about 5 minutes before we're going to close off the auction, and it then goes to Lali, and I'll give Lali the banking details for Farmers Aid and Go Purple, so she can just pay directly to them. All right, now getting back to you, Rene. Is there something you'd like to just say to everybody watching this video now, or people who might watch it later? Is it like just anything you'd like to share with people about you and your work and how they might be able to help and so on?
Yes, thank you, Scott. I think I gave them a lot of information on how they can help, and we always ask for help, and I would like to make use of this opportunity to say again that they can please help to donate us. Here in South Africa, we really do need, our people really do need your assistance and your help, even your prayers, and just keep us in your prayers at night. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the country at the moment that's making people afraid and making people uncertain and making people sad, and then even making the poor even poorer and the rich even poorer. So please keep us in your prayers. Please donate to Helpende. We are a trustworthy organization that will make sure that the money and the donations go to the correct place. Please be open to contact us anytime if you would need assistance or just like to have a chat, or can give us some wisdom or help. And that I truly appreciate that the people that are listening tonight. I know that this is a pressing subject, but we do need to talk about this. But if I can just close off by saying that what we do at Helpende is truly a calling for us. And like I said, if we can't help someone at night, we truly can't sleep. So we are trying to help everyone that we can. We cannot help everyone. We do realize this, and in every meeting that we have to say to each other that we cannot help everyone. So if you are out there and you want to help someone, help that someone, and realize that you can't help everyone.
Right. Now, I've got a question here for you, which Tace Lawrence has asked. Rene, how much money did F.W. de Klerk Foundation donate for the Hungry Whites? And I guess if you can't say, you don't have to say, but that's the question. I can tell you people on my channel are not particularly friendly with F.W. de Klerk because of what's happened in South Africa. Anyway, back to you.
Okay. Yeah, can we skip that one? Sorry.
Yeah, we can certainly skip that one. Sorry, Tace. We're going to skip that one. Okay, so Elaine Diplock says, I'm keen to donate 20 immune health packs to your Solidarity Fund. With love from Well Now Company online store.
Wow, what? 2?
Okay, Elaine Diplock says, I'm keen to donate 20 immune health packs to your Solidarity Fund. With love from Well Now Co. online store.
That's perfect. Can she use that email address that I just gave to you now, that dienst@helpende?
Yeah, okay.
She please send an email to that one, then I can follow up on that.
Okay, fantastic. Elaine, if you could just get hold of or email Diens, D-I-E-N-S, at helpendehand.co.za, and just put in there immune health packs just in the subject line so that Rene can track it down, and then she'll talk to you direct.
Yeah.
And just make sure you've got a cell number there too. Okay, now
Thank you so much.
there's a question here about the Bonaccord settlement, and I need to clarify, because there was a social media comment going out that the 200 food parcels that had been delivered to that settlement had been confiscated by the police and taken away. And apparently that didn't happen, which is why once this information came to me, I removed that video from the Loving Life channel, because if something's fake news, we just take the video down. And in that video I did say this is unsubstantiated. So I'm not sure what happened to those 200 food parcels. It's correct that the police did come there. There was some kind of confrontation. From what I can gather, the food parcels eventually did get to the families there. Do you know any more about that, Rene? Have you heard about this?
Yes, I did hear about it when I just came home this afternoon. It is. We also received indeed that it is fake news. Yes, and unfortunately, it had a lot of people up and about, and a lot of journalists up and about. But we did receive that it was fake news, and I will follow up on this further later on. But that is the general consensus at the moment. Yes.
Right. Okay. So there you go. It's fake news that the parcels. That I know that the police were there, but they did not take the parcels with them. That's fake news.
Yes,
all right.
That's the message received.
Okay, now I'll just see if there are any other questions. No, I think we pretty well covered everything. Okay, look, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on tonight, Rene. You know, this channel, a big part of what we do is to support charities, and we support quite a few charities. We have them on live streams quite often, and we also obviously would love to help you guys wherever we can. So if there's something that you'd like to tell the world about, or something that you think is relevant, please just email Marlena, and she looks after my live streams for me. And you know, we'll have you on again, no problems at all. And I remember before we went live tonight, you said, Scott, please go easy on me.
Yeah, we're not used to the English, Scott.
Well, you did very well. You did extremely well, believe me. You did. You had a master class in English there. So
I studied a lot.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say to the moderators, thank you guys for the wonderful work you do in the side chat, just keeping everything on track. Let me just do this. And I just also want to say thank you to all the people who actually joined in tonight in the side chat and became part of the discussion. And for everybody who's watching the video now, who will watch it later, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Gordon Blues has asked one final question. This is the last question we'll take. He says, does Rene even realize what a beautiful person she is inside and out? Isn't that lovely?
Thank you. You can tell him that he can log into the previous conversation that you had with Dirk Herman. He's also a beautiful person.
Yeah,
you can listen to that as well.
Yeah, Dirk's an extraordinary man. Okay. What's this? Does Solidarity support the people in Orania? I don't think they have a problem with food, do they?
No, there's actually, we do support with food there as well, but yeah, Orania it's a great part of the Solidarity movement, of the Solidariteit beweging, and we love going there and visiting there and supporting there and building there and donating there. So yes, it's quite a, but that's also a whole different story. I can give you some numbers if you would like to have a live chat with you know, with one of them there as well.
I would love that.
From
Orania.
Yes, with the council members there.
I
that
would
would be-
love that. Could you give those details to Marlena? Because I've
will.
always wanted to talk to someone from Orania. That'd be fantastic. And can we say that Rene Roux suggested we contact them?
Yes, you can say that.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's always nice to have a referral. Okay,
yeah, you
fantastic.
can say Rene from Helpende. They'll.
Helpende Hand, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Look, I'm going to shut off the auction now. We've got the winning bid of 20,000 rand. Congratulations, Lali. You're going to love that painting. I will send you the banking details for Farmers Aid and Go Purple shortly. If you can just, in fact, yeah, if you just pay 10,000 rand to each, and once they've confirmed that they've got the money, I will then let Marlena know, who will then organize for the painting to be sent off to you. Alrighty. And finally, guys, I just want to thank our beautiful guest, and she is a beautiful lady with a great big heart, and I just want to thank you so much for being part of our live stream tonight. I hope we've clarified for people who watch this video the difference between Solidarity, Helping Hands, your charity, and this bogus SABC where they use the wording of your charity so that people know which ones they've got to support.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you for having me on your show and for being easy on me and for being such a nice person to me as well. I truly appreciate it, and thank you for your patience with my language barrier.
I didn't see any language barrier at all. As I said, you spoke really well. You did a fantastic job.
Great.
Alrighty.
As long as the mess is not over.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Look, please be safe. Take care, and don't forget tomorrow night. I'm talking to Des. What's his surname? From Cape Exit. I'll be talking to Cape Exit tomorrow night. Let me just have a look. Oh my God, Des Palm. I'm talking to Des Palm from Cape Exit. So 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and then on Friday night, I'm talking to a really interesting elderly fellow who was a priest all his life, and boy, has he got some stories to tell. So I hope you can make both those evenings. And then of course Saturday night we've got King Cornelius, who's the king of the Khoi, who we'll be talking to at 8 p.m. So we've got a really interesting setup for the rest of the week. Okay, I'm going to shut this down now, guys. Once again, thanks to the moderators. You do a fantastic job, and please everybody, take care and be safe. Bye for now. See you tomorrow night, 8 p.m.